So I got a good question from Jay Go. Him and I were talking the other day on one of the videos in the comment section, and he was wondering, do I consider it a waste of money to go out and compete and lose in your first match? And we were kind of going back and forth, and I told him that I don't think it is a waste of money, and I'll kind of share with you guys why. So first off, let me sort of share with you guys, if you're in the boat, because a lot of my students talk to me about this, they'll say, man, I don't want to compete because I don't want to pay that money and lose, and then that's it, right? But let me start by saying that the reason that tournaments, one of the reasons that they're so cool is because there is that possibility that you can just lose and that's it, right? That's all she wrote. And you got a little skin in the game. You paid some money to be there. So the fact that that's on the line, it makes it worth something, right? If you went to a tournament where, all right, guys, we're all just rolling, there's no medals, or there are medals, but everybody gets one, and you don't pay any money to be here, it wouldn't be nearly as meaningful as when you go out to a tournament and everything's on the line, right? Now, to share a story from my own experience, we'll go as a black belt, because I talk a lot about my white belt experiences. Let me share one as a black belt. So back in 2013, I had really tapped into this person that was just like letting their game go. I've talked about it before where in 2012 I had a lot of trouble being too tight because I was still really nervous and I hadn't found myself as a black belt. In 2013, I had really found my knack for just letting it all out there, right? And just letting it all hang out and go after it. And I still lost matches, but even when I lost the matches, I was still, like, it was a good match. Like, me and the opponent are going back and forth, and it's a really good, entertaining match to watch. And when I won the matches, typically I was winning by submission because I was just going aggressively for the finish. Kind of reckless to some degree. And then 2015 came, a big tournament, probably paid all in all, like with expenses and everything, around $1,500, right? And I went out there and I lost my first match. And the way that I lost, right? This was the stinging part about it. It was the way that I lost. And this was happening a lot that year. I don't know if it happened this previous year, but it happened a lot in 2015. My opponent and I are going, and I pull guard. Okay, I was really sloppy with my half guard pull. And the guy had a really good cut through pass. I've watched him roll before. He's got a hell of a cut through pass. He cuts through pass, boom, cuts through. Gets his passing points. He's up 3 now, right? Fuck. I escape out of it. He stands up. I stand up. I'm like, all right, I'm back in the game here. All right, I'm going to work on some takedowns now. Let's do it. So I go for a takedown, and we go outside of the ring, right? Because as soon as we stood up, he backed up to the edge of the mat. And I was like, I'm going forward. So I, did my takedown, go forward, took him down, boop, bring him back in. So no points. All right, let's go again. All right. So as soon as we start, boom, boom, backs up to the edge of the mat. So again, I'm not even thinking about the edge of the mat. I'm like it's not. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about it. It just wasn't even my mindset, right? I forget that that's a thing, right? That you might kind of stall out. So again, we're going, do a takedown. Do the takedown, we end up going out of bounds again. Oh, shit. So then I'm here. And then, what does he do? We touch fist, boom, 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 back up. And I look at the ref, and I threw my hands up. I was like, dude, I don't know what you want me to do, right? I was talking to the ref. I was like, what do you want me to do? I was like, I want to roll, but this guy doesn't want to roll, right? And this was happening all over the place that year. Like, everybody was fucking just backing up. Like, you'd see 2 guys get some points, and then they're just doing this. They're like playing the edge of the mat the whole time. And it's fucking boring to watch, right? It's like, it's terrible. Like, to me, that's not what jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu, we're supposed to go forward, go at each other, and we're supposed to finish each other. We're supposed to at least try to, right? Maybe it doesn't work. I understand that everybody wants to get that gold medal so they can, like, raise their hands up, whatever. But to me, man, like, again, the way that you win is just as important as if you win, right? Because you'll see guys, like, win off of, like, an advantage that's kind of like some guy will teeter-totter back and forth in 50-50, they win an advantage. And, again, we look at it later on, we're like, who cares? No, you don't remember that, right? But the memorable wins are the ones where like everybody remembers this one. Hodger Gracie goes out and finishes everybody with a cross collar choke. Everyone remembers that one, right? There's even guys that I remember who didn't win, but they went after it so much that I remember that performance. And to me, that's what stands out. And to me, that's what's more important, I guess. Anyway, so I lost the match, and I lost on points. And again, at one point, I'm literally like laying down on my back with my hands at my side, like basically trying to get him to mount, because if I can get him to mount, I'm pretty sure I can get out of it and set up a sweep and then try to reverse everything. So I was desperate. It was like the last minute. So I'm laying down there like, come on, mount me. And he wouldn't touch it. He's just laying there. I was like, damn it, come on, man. Like, let's do some shit. Let's do this. So he gets up and gets his hand raised, and I was so mad. I went up to the bleacher area, and I'm just sitting there just fuming, and I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm angry. frustrated. I felt like that $1,500 essentially that I'd paid to be there was all a waste of money. And then I kind of took a step back and started to breathe, relax, get the whole thing going. And then I was thinking about everything that went on in the match. It was my fault that happened. My game, I came out a little too reckless, right? In an effort to be very wide open and to use my techniques to their full extent, right? I sort of let the person get that cut through. He has a great cut through pass, and I let him get right into it because my first move was really sloppy. That's my fault. And I then allowed him to sort of play that lead. And on top of that, I was chasing the guy down, and I executed my 2 best takedowns, so now he knows what I'm going to do, right? I execute my 2 best takedowns while he's outside of the ring. I should have been more cognizant of that, noticing where he's at. That was my fault. I wasn't playing the game. And so there were a lot of things that I learned from that match that I've used since then, right, that have helped me win more tournaments and get my hand raised at more tournaments. And so looking back at it, was that a waste? It was not a waste. It was frustrating at the time, absolutely. Did I think it was a waste when it happened? I did. But when I look back at it and I made some tweaks to my game, and then I was getting my hand raised later on in 2015 and in 2016 with the things that I learned from that match, because of that match, the way that I tweaked my game, it was absolutely worth it. So think about it like this. If you're one of those people out there that maybe you don't want to compete, maybe you just compete and you're frustrated, whatever it might be, and you're worried about the money thing, you're like, man, it's a waste of money. Think about being the guy getting their hand raised, sitting on the top of the podium, looking down at everybody around them, bending down, getting that gold medal put around your neck, seeing all your teammates take pictures of you, being able to post on Instagram, whatever bullshit you want to do. And think about that moment, right? If you were that guy, like maybe 3-4 months down the road, and it's a direct, sort of directly because of this match before, right? If that is what's going on, would that be worth it? Would it be worth it to lose and to pay the money up just so that eventually you could be that guy or that girl getting their hand raised and being the first, right? And having that gold medal around your neck? Because more than likely, I bet you'd be like, yeah, it'd be worth it. I'd do that, right? So basically, you got to understand that competing is like that, right? You're going to lose some, you're going to win some, but you got to keep pecking away at it in order to be that person eventually when you get to get at the top of the podium. But it's not a waste of money. It's what do we say in jiu-jitsu all the time? It's not failure, it's feedback. It's not, you're not losing, you're learning. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. We all say that, but then when it's time for us to be the nail, when it's time for us to learn, it's time for us to take that feedback, a lot of times we're not so receptive to it. So I'm done rambling, guys. Jay Go, thanks for the question, brother.